Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. And now it is just about time for us to head to the feast. So let's go get our due praise, shall we? Running past all the important people. Yep. All the little people that do not matter. Let's see if anything important has popped up here. We have a quest. Something like that anyway. Right in front of us. So, who is this?
Look, the Grey Wardens are here. The raid tomorrow must be more than a standard mission.
Grey Wardens, huh?
Only go where the Darkspawn are the greatest threat.
Let's see what this dwarf wants.
Many thanks for your willingness to hear me out, my lord. I wish to speak to you of a matter most urgent.
Gorham, how much time do I have?
It looks as if the heads of House Bimo and Mino are keeping your father busy, which leaves you plenty of time for our dear old friend, Lord Dace.
You're a credit to your caste, Sir Gorham. I've always said so. If I had a daughter, I'd give her to you and make you the noble you deserve to be.
You honor me, my lord.
He's mocking you, Gorham.
What? I would never do such a thing.
What do you want?
First, let me congratulate you on your commission. 2 of King Endrin's children now commissioned war leaders. It does great honor to your house.
Get to the point.
Of course, my lord. There is a vote coming before the Assembly next week. And a word from you could go a long way towards helping our cause.
Is this going to be a bribe or a blackmail?
Well, you do cut to the point, don't you? You'll be quite a shock if you ever join the Assembly. We are so fond of our doublespeak. I have no desire to obligate you or force your hand. I propose a mutually beneficial arrangement. The vote concerns the status of the so-called surface caste. Lost to the stone, air-touched, and so forth. Centuries ago, narrow-minded men declared that any dwarf who left to live on the surface forfeited his caste, and his house if noble. That he was, in essence, no longer a dwarf. I seek only to remedy an injustice, to retie the bonds of anyone who can trace himself to one of the noble houses wherever he may live. Please, agree to speak for this noble cause.
Well, let's see. Why so interested in this particular cause?
Those on the surface are our lifeline. They facilitate trade with the surface. They're honorable and, let's be honest. I don't care a whit for those who have wandered from the stone. My wife, however, is a gem of a different color. She has a cousin, useless sort, but she's quite fond of him. He joined a speculative venture to the surface, hoping to make his fortune, and went bust. Now he wishes to come home, but he cannot, for he has no house and would be casteless. For my wife's sake, I take up his cause. Will you lend me your voice?
What do I get in return?
I keep my ears to the stone, my lord. I hear many things, some of which could be a great help during your mission tomorrow. A little forewarning to help your forearming, if you know what I mean.
Okay, you have a deal. What do I do?
When your father presents you to the noble houses, I will ask for your opinion on the matter. You have merely to say that you feel our surface brothers should be returned their noble rights. What could be more simple?
You're a fool.
Excuse me?
Your mother would melt the stone if she knew what you just did.
How dare you speak to me that way?
Show you are to be respected, and I will no longer speak to you as a child. Lord Dace is playing you false. Go ahead, be his puppet. Your first command will be marked by every major house turning their back on you.
If you have something to say, do so.
If you are to play in the games of the Assembly, make sure you know the motivations of the players. Last spring, a guild from the Merchant caste invested heavily in an expedition with a guild from the surface. Lord Dace backed the Merchant Guild, pouring a great deal of money into the venture. The expedition was a disaster.
So, this is Lord Dace's play to recover his losses.
Clever child. Lord Dace lost a great deal of money and prestige. The Surface Guild has no way to repay the investment, but it does have several leading members who are descended from noble houses. House Helmi, Bimo, Iduken.
If the surface dwellers return to their noble houses...
You begin to see the whole picture. Your house and mine would be forced to pay the Surfacer's kin debts. It would be a great victory for Lord Dace.
Fine. Let Lord Dace think he's fooled me.
Just so, my clever friend. Smile and nod, and when he asks his question, tell him that the so-called Surface caste are right where they belong. That should take Lord Dace down a peg or two.
I'll do that.
Good. Your house's reputation hangs in the balance.
People think they can blame me for fools. Sheesh. You again. I don't want to talk to you again. But these Grey Wardens over here, huh? They seem important.
Greetings, my lord Iduken. It is an honor to meet you at last.
At last? Have you been waiting for me?
Not as such, but your father never misses a chance to boast of your skill and bravery. He says you may be the most skilled warrior in all of House Iduken.
There is no may about it. I am the best.
Yes, he mentioned your humble nature as well. We need more Grey Wardens like you, and quickly. Even as the Darkspawn weaken here in Ozamar, they are stirring on the surface. A blight has begun. Soon the fight must go beyond the deep roads, lest the Darkspawn threaten all the world.
Good. Let them leave our city and pester the humans.
No one is safe from a blight. If the Darkspawn overrun the surface lands, they will return in even greater numbers. Ozamar would perish along with the rest. None of our lands is truly self-sufficient.
I wonder if Father would allow me to join you.
Alas, I do not think he would take kindly to that suggestion. As the child of the king and heir after Lord Treant, your place is here.
Well said. Yes, I belong with my father and brothers.
I wish you luck in the deep roads tomorrow. Show the Darkspawn the might of your people.
That's interesting. I think it is about time to get this feast underway, don't you?
My king, please reconsider. Trade contracts alone could bring great prosperity to our houses.
Will we really turn our back on our brothers and a potential fortune in cheap labor because of a political technicality?
Denial of the traditions of our people does not qualify as a political technicality. There is more to life than monetary gains, my lords Bimo and Michael. The Assembly of Kal Shirak will respect the rule of Ozamar, or they will rot and die alone, surrounded by enemies.
Yes, my king.
But look, we have company to spare us further wrangling. Atrast Vala, my son. How fine you look in your great-grandfather's armor. I hear you were declared champion of the Provings. I suppose you were never one to sit by when something exciting was going on. Are you ready to be presented to the heads of the noble houses?
Of course, Father.
So dutiful. Very well, let us begin. Lords,
Duty.
ladies, grant me a moment of your time. We are here today so I may present to you my second eldest child, blessed by the stone and born of the blood that ran in the veins of the paragon Iduken. Who would pose a question to the prospective commander? Who seeks to know the prospect better?
I have a question. I seek to know the prospect better.
Lord Dace, head of House Dace, speak.
Lords, ladies, my question concerns the plight of our wayward kin, the so-called service caste. What does the Commander Prospect think is the proper place for these lost souls?
Think you fooled me, Winu. The surface dwellers are less than men.
Are you satisfied, Lord Dace? Do you feel you have learned something about the prospect?
Yes, my king.
Then if there are no other challenges, I give you Orzammar's next commander. Tomorrow, our newest commander will lead part of a mission to strike a great blow to the Darkspawn. Not only does this recover access to some of our most important mines, but it also allows our honored guest Duncan, head of Ferelden's Grey Wardens, to strike far into the deep roads.
Thank you, King Endrin. While the Darkspawn seem to withdraw, it is only because they are massing on the surface. This could mean a blight, and my men and I will discover the truth.
We are honored to have you with us, my friend. Now, feast, drink, and celebrate, for the morning brings battle! As for you, my new commander, find your brother Trian and send him to me. He may be watching the provings, or getting some rest in his rooms.
Can't you send a servant?
Don't question everything. Just go for the ancestors' sake.
Fine. Got something to say to us?
I suppose you're proud of yourself.
You underestimated me.
That is the way the games of the Assembly are played. Next time, I will think more of you. If you'll excuse me, my lord.
Well, I suppose... we better go find Trian, huh? Let's see... Up here. Okay.
I am at your service.
I didn't say anything to you. Nope, other door. I probably should have learned this layout a little better, shouldn't I have? Guard. I don't want to, but...
So you are a commander now, in name at least.
Oh, shut up,
Shouldn't you
Trian.
be attending our king father?
You two were not at the... Balin, how was your day?
Interesting. I would have been at the feast, but Trian had need of me.
The world does not stop and start with your meager achievements. Not even tonight. Now, do you have some purpose in bothering us?
Father is worried you're too much of an ass to be prince.
You push your luck. Balin, get to bed. We have a big day tomorrow. I will see what our father wishes from his heir.
All day I've put up with that. He can really grate on the nerves.
I agree.
And what I'm going to tell you next won't make you any more fond of him.
What are you talking about?
Trian has begun to move against you. I never thought his much-proclaimed honor would allow him to actually act on his jealousy. Big brother, Trian is going to try to kill you.
He recognizes I'm a threat. Good.
He fears what you are becoming, in the eyes of the people and the Assembly. Trian's the named prince, but only the Assembly can proclaim a king. It would be unusual for the Assembly to ignore the king's choice, but it does happen. The first Idugan king wasn't even part of the house's leading family. That was an extraordinary case, but at least a half-dozen times the Assembly named a lesser family member, or even someone from another house, as king. Usually, it's the popular younger brother of an undesirable prince.
Well, I would make a good ruler.
You entered the provings held in your own honor just for glory and to please the crowds. If you win glory against the Darkspawn tomorrow, it will only strengthen the case for you as the next heir. Trian Veer's father will replace him on the spot. If not, the Assembly will surely turn against him when father dies. You know his pride will never allow him to step aside.
What's your angle in this?
It seems Trian has shown that brothers can't always be trusted. I am next in line. If Trian succeeds in his plot against you, how long do you think I'll live?
Gorham, what do you say?
Permission to speak freely?
I asked, didn't I?
Trian would make a terrible king, but no one wants to say it. He has just enough backing in the Assembly to make it ugly when your father dies, but not enough to become king. Killing him now makes your house stronger and saves a great deal of bloodshed later.
Very well. Trian dies.
I'm afraid I must agree with you. Tomorrow's battle is the time to do it. I'll find out the rendezvous and buy you the time to do what must be done. I'm taking your place as father's second, so I'll be at hand tomorrow. For now, try to get some sleep.
Let's go. You don't want to keep those lovely ladies waiting.
Indeed we don't. Loading. Loading. Loading.
Trian and his men will clear the way for the Grey Wardens to descend into the easternmost caverns. Those caverns are still infested by the worst of the Darkspawn. We cannot risk our own troops in there.
Understood, Lord Harrimont. We should be able to sense the Darkspawn and avoid them once the way is open.
May the Paragons favor you, and the stone catch you if you fall.
Come men! Glory awaits!
Balin, you and your men will second the king, clearing the main road.
Don't you think it looks a little cowardly to allow these humans to take our place where the fighting is thickest?
Are you questioning the battle plan?
Of course not. I'm sure your caution is for the glory of us all.
Enough, Balin. Take your men and make ready. Harrimont and I need to have words with your sibling.
Good luck, my brother.
Your father has a special mission for you.
In the eastern deep roads, there is a secret door carved into the stone.
The door leads to a tide, abandoned long ago by your ancestors. The Darkspawn have made it impossible to reach.
My father believed that the shield of the Paragon Idukan remains in that tide, under the stones of the central room. Reclaim the shield, and glory will be yours.
The shield of Idukan would be quite the find.
We've sent 2 scouts ahead to make sure the tunnels are cleared. But be careful. One of the scouts will meet you at the first crossroads you come to. The second will be further in. When you get to the door, use your signet ring to open it. Questions?
Meet the scouts, find the door, grab the shield. Got it.
Very good. The crossroads where you meet the first scout will be the rendezvous point. There you can present the shield to the lords and demonstrate the strength of Idukan.
May the ancestors watch over you, my child.
Okay, so some political intrigue out of the way, and now we get to go find a shield. But that is for next time. So until then, take care, folks. See you later.